I'd like to see stronger guidelines. I'd like to see everybody implemented with the same guidelines that a tattoo artist, somebody serious in the industry, has set forth. Somebody who knows what they're doing. One thing that I found is that the health department doesn't necessarily know, everything about the tattoo industry. They're going with what the government has set forth. Unfortunately, the government doesn't really know everything about the tattoo industry or what could be done better. I'd like to see the health department more involved. I'd like to see better documentation of everything. Maybe even 2 sport tests a month or something like that to break it up. Something could go wrong halfway through your month after your 1 sport test result comes back and you wouldn't know anything about it. It'd be good if we can send 2 sport tests away a month. Some people do, most people don't. Some people don't even do the 1 test a month. I'd like to see the health department get more involved and have, maybe 1 inspection a month or something like that instead of 1 inspection a year. I think that there should be a separate off-branch of the government strictly for this industry. A good close to half of the tattoos that we do here are repair work of other people's work. Even whether it's something that was just very, very old and needs to be retouched, or whether or not somebody has just had a horrible job at another studio and wants to feel comfortable walking around with a permanent piece of work on their arm.
It was much better than I thought it was going to be.
Did it hurt?
No, not at all. Just that 1 spot.
Yeah? And what would you describe it as feeling like, though?
It was just irritating. There was 1 spot I couldn't even feel it, just because of noise. That's what I could hear.
Yeah.
But it's almost like kind of my back was numb or something.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it felt like.
Yeah? So you're happy that you got the tattoo?
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And the experience was good?
Yes, it was very good.
Not very often do most people, I would say, even know that they have a blood-borne disease. We take a chance every day in, assuming that people know whether or not they have one, and at that point being honest on the waiver form whether or not they have a blood-borne disease. That's why we have to take proper precautions in order to make sure that the customer and ourselves are perfectly safe for the procedure. At the same time, we have had 2 gentlemen come in, not naming names or the studio they were from, but they were from a studio that was recently shut down for having a non-properly sterilizing autoclave, and they had to go get their blood work tested because there was a big Hep C breakout because of that. We told them that until they got their results back and had proof of the results, that we would not tattoo them. This is an industry where you're not at Walmart, you're not at McDonald's. It's not, necessarily always the customer is always right. We have to do what's in the best for ourselves and for future clients as well. If somebody has something like HIV or anything like that, it is a very dangerous circumstance. If we don't choose to work on that person, we don't work on them. I think with anybody, researching your artist is a good tool. Pretty much every artist that you go to will have a different style. I find that in most places, a lot of people, I don't want to call them bargain hunters, but a lot of the times that's what it ends up being. Mainly just go for the cheapest price, as opposed to the artist who's best for the job. If people properly research their artist and find the artist that they're most comfortable with as a person, and then as well most comfortable with their artwork, that would be the best way for them to go about it. Just go from studio to studio. Don't necessarily, ask for quotes on prices or anything like this, but definitely check portfolios. Definitely talk with an artist. Find out if the artist is somebody that you can sit down with a couple hours and get along with. See if that artist can let you leave the room smiling at the end of the day, and see if you want to come back to that artist. That would be the big thing.
But I like it. I like it a lot.
When you ask your artist or looking for documentation, definitely check for sport test results, check for their certificate of health inspection, and make sure that everything's in proper documents.
Initially, yes, there was some kind of pain involved. And then it went away after it went numb. And then I really didn't feel it at all. And it went so fast. Like, I thought he was just doing the outline, and all of a sudden, he was applying the color. So it did really go quick. And it was great. And I come back. It wasn't bad at all.
Was it what you expected it to be, or?
Actually, it was better. It was better, actually. Yeah.
Hey, Sam, how you feel?
I feel good. You feel good?
You're the best. I do.
He was the best.
Way from the top of the way, we only pay interest in the unbelow. I salute the overboard and take